Okay, nerds. Welcome back. Another vintage video, another vintage challenge. This one was Squee, and this is the last one before Modern Horizons 3 gets released. So, yeah, really just the goodbye to Squee. Now, things that we're concerned about. The challenge yesterday on Friday was just like mono bug and mono dredge. Dredge is fine, bug is unbeatable. So, that's something. Obviously the ever-present, or these days ever-present Lurus Saga decks are also a challenge to beat. You really need to get underneath them. But what I'm doing is I'm just rerunning my list from last weekend where I came fourth. I liked the list, I liked the library, so we've got 4 bazaars and 1 corner shop. That's quite cool. And then, yeah, this is the list. 3 Furies post board, 1 in the main, 2 Caracas post board to fight Lavinia, Lurus and Atraxa. 1 Echoing Deeps for the Wasteland matchups. And then where we're expecting every other Bazaar gamer to be Dredge, we can move on to Trap, which invalidates their post board Vigors. And they also usually take out all their Force of Wills, which suddenly makes all of our graveyard hate just uncounterable. Okay, they need to grief it, and that's all they've got. So it's one of those things where it depends on what you're expecting in the meta as to what you can really register. If you're expecting a bunch of Squee gamers mixed in with the Dredge gamers, it's got to be Leyline. Because, for example, if I activate a Bazaar, discard 1 Lizard, 2 Vengevines, cast a Hollow one, the Trap's not online. Okay, so if you're expecting Squee, play Leyline. If you're expecting Dredge, and only Dredge really, then the Traps can come in. 2 Surgicals over Endurance, Leyline, other stuff that binks graveyards. And that's that. That's the deck. We activate Bazaar. We discard Vengevines and Lizards. Or we discard Squeeze and accrue card advantage that way. We counter their spells. We play a Chalice. We attack them for 4. And Stone Rain them. All pretty good. See you down there for the matches. Okie dokie then. Round 1. Squeevine challenge. We're up against Etu Star, who plays Oath of Druid strategies. Beat me in the semis last weekend. Beat me in round 6 last weekend. I beat myself in round 6 last weekend actually, but that's a different story for a different day. I have got a recap of that video of that tournament lined up. We're just going to exile our deck quickly. Bear with, there we go. Look at that misstep and some forces. 2 Bazaar of Baghdad's. Just how we drew it up. So, we're expecting Oath of Druids. What do we exile? Anything interesting? Bunch of Lizards. So, Trop into 3 Noxious. Okay, so Trop, Ruby, and a pass. 5 cards remain in hand, so it could be upkeep Flash, it could be upkeep Ancestral. Either way, we'll be straight to our main phase. Okay, so Vengevine and Fury, 2 nice easy discards here. No Lizards. A 3rd Bazaar. I probably don't need that. But I can probably just come off the Squee, right? Next question. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I want to come off the Squee. I don't like that at all. So I'll come off 1 Bazaar. I'll come off the Fury. I'll discard the Vengevine. Then I'll have double Force of Will. Hollow 1 Bazaar of Baghdad. Yeah, I like that. We'll hold the Squee for a moment. Do we play this out or do we wait a turn? Waiting a turn doesn't really do anything, does it? No. I'm going to cast it. If they fight it, we won't fight back. Cool. So we've got a 4/4. 2 forces. 2 blue cards. Misstep if misstep's applicable. Opponent's on 5 cards. So it looks like they're lining up a show and tell hand, doesn't it? Forbidden Orchard. Into black mana. Interesting. Interesting choice. Thought sees me. Well, we'll misstep that. And they've got a Veil of Summer. They've played a land. I'm going to take my Force of Will. And then... Okay, what? It would have to be Emerald Oath this turn. Okay. That gets through. Main deck Veil of Summer. That's cool. I don't want to cast anything. That was brutal, actually, wasn't it? Okay, we get Thoughtseize. Opponent's got 4 cards. They need Emerald Oath or Lotus Oath or something like that. That's a jet. So that's untap for green or blue. And it's back to us. Good news. Good news. I'm just going to hold here. I'm going to hold my Bazaar as well. Let's attack them for 5. I wonder if I'm supposed to fight that Veil. Seems tough to do. They've got so much mana. I'm not a fan. Strip mine. I guess I activate. So powder, strip, master can all go. And then opponent has 3 cards remaining in hand. Hitting us with the old show and tell. Do you have a fluster or spell pierce? No. Okay. Lotus Petal. Don't oath me, bro. Hold on. That was good manners, really, all round. I will play the Bazaar and I will activate the Bazaar with the news of that lizard coming in. Let's keep the negation and cross our fingers, I guess, is the line here. Opponent's on 1 card. We'll attack for 5. Opponent falls to 8. This is sweaty, isn't it? Let's see what they've got. They've drawn 1 card. Have they just top decked another show? 4 mana. I don't know what that means. I'm not clever enough for that. Because we know they've got an Attractor in hand, right? Because they cast a show last turn. Oh, they just vigored my Hollow one. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't do anything. I've got a Master of Death. Another Hollow one. Right, we're going to hold that boy and get him for 2. So we know they're only holding Atraxa as their final card because they cast a show and tell earlier, or they just threw a show and tell at us. It's one of those two. But this turn I can't activate Bazaar of Baghdad and hold up Force and Negation. So I feel like being a bit more conservative with our life points is better. An opponent concedes the game. Nice. So 2 Caracas and an Echoing Deeps. 3 Mind Break Traps. Fury can go. 2 Lizards can go. And 3 Poxwalkers can go. There you go, that looks great, doesn't it? So, sorry about the sirens in the background if you're picking them up. So more permission, less creatures, and no Poxwalkers because the Poxwalkers have a tendency to accidentally fall into play. So, good game 1. Interesting that they've got main deck Veil. That's like quite a statement of where they think the format's at the moment, isn't it? I guess it makes sense, right? If your best deck is Lurrus Saga, and they're like, what, an 8 Force 2 Spell Pierce type deck. Seems legit. I can believe it. Oh, my phone's in the way and really annoying me. Looks like a powder. Oh no, that's a chalice. Alright. Mulligan normally then. Let's just take all the interaction out of our deck. That sounds like a phenomenal plan. Don't need any of that anyway. They're not the most important cards. Library is not Bazaar. Okay. And mark them to 4. Oh, 3 cards. I wonder if we can get a good 3-card hand. No, don't be silly. Let's go to 2. And let's powder this. So I'll keep... There's nothing really here to hide, is there? So I guess strip mine in the deck is good. Don't need a lizard. Mulligan to 1. And we'll keep a Bazaar. So we've lost. This is the cost of doing business. Opponents kept 7. And hopefully they've wasted their good keep on our mull to 1. And then next game we'll be on 7. And they'll be on 3. That's the plan, right? Echoing Deeps. Sure, I'll play a Bazaar of Baghdad. Let's pass the turn. This doesn't look like a good hand from them, does it? Tropical Island go. It's got to be a turn 2 Oath. Got to be. Bayou. I mean, let's just stage you. Sure. Okay. We'll let that go because we've got another Bazaar in hand. Give our deck a shuffle to get that other Bazaar back into our deck. Actions on the opponent. There's like something stupid like Lotus Show and Tell. I'll play this and I'll grab a copy of Bazaar of Baghdad. So they just had like an interactive hand, I guess. They could still have turn 3 Show and Tell. I've never been less invested in a game of Magic, to be honest with you. If we get another turn, we will untap and probably discard this lizard unless we draw 2 lizards and a Vengevine. DT for strip mine, I guess. Lotus Show, kill you. Cool. Right, next game. They show us an Atraxa, then we'll take a look at their sideboarding strategy. Sarah's Emissary, and some other Magic cards. Yeah, we can't win this. They haven't played a land yet, have they? Turn 3, no, so they can just go Sapphire, Misty, Time Walk. Yeah, cool. All right, nice story. We'll go to the next one. Let's keep more cards than 1. I still like our sideboard configuration against the Oath deck. The one thing that I was thinking about during the week was whether there's space for another snapback, or for one snapback. But I don't know if there's enough Oathers going around that it makes sense to commit yet another sideboard slot to them. But the fact that they are post-boarding Sarah's Emissaries, whilst it may not always be a big meta representation, it can sometimes be worth paying that tax, right? I mean, we tax people's sideboards enough as it is. Maybe we should pay it sometimes as well. So nice hand here. Not sure how to play it. Probably going to lead on Bazaar of Baghdad and activate it. I think that's as far as I've got so far. Let's hope for a blue card, at the very least. So there's one of those. So what, Lizard, Wasteland, that's fucked up. Or Lizard, Wasteland. If they play a turn 1 Oath, we have to push through a Force. So maybe it's just supposed to be Wasteland, Lizard. I don't like that at all. So they bring in Tabernacle against us as well. That's tough. That's tough. Could be Lizard, Wasteland. Yes, it's definitely Lizard, Wasteland. It's just, is it a second Lizard to put 6 power into play and not have a green card, but not die to Tabernacle? or do you keep the green card to beat up on Oath? I think I've got to keep the green card. Not the most fond of this play. Where does this lizard need to go? I'm casting a hollow one, right? So let's just cast it. I'll cast the hollow one. And that all just, cruised on through. Opponent's got no problems with creatures being in play. So 2 wastelands going to the bin is painful for us. They've got a Passage. Wow. So it's just Mox Orchard Oath. Or not Orchard, Mox Passage Oath, right? So we look pretty neat here. And that was the big deal on keeping the green card, right? Over the wastelands. Let's go after the 2 cards. No force from them. Unlikely to be activating Bazaar here. Noxious Revival. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So let's see what they come with next turn. But we might be able to get a wasteland here. If they don't have another land. And Passage doesn't look like someone who's got multiple lands, does it? Alright, I lied. So this looks like another Oath. It's a DT. It's a DT for what? They've played a land. So DT for strip, DT for tab. I think we'll let the DT resolve. I'm not excited about this. And then they're just passing the turn. There's Noxious Hour Wasteland. They might fight this, to be honest. Yeah, they are. So they DT'd for a tab. They pitch an Oko. Is this free? No. So 2 cards. And I get to flip a Bazaar if I counter this. And then I get to flip a Bazaar. No. They can have that. It's fine. So we'll take a draw step with our 6 power. Strip mine 1 time. Lizard, okay. We'll get in for 6. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Next turn we're going to get a good activation. Our creatures might be dead by then, but I'm kind of fine with that, I think, in like a conceptual way. Not sure about that fight we just had. Whether I should be fighting over the Noxious to get the Wasteland to prevent like the Tabernacle or Show and Tell this turn. He's got Strip Mine. No, is this just a show? Looks like it. Let's hope they don't have a Force of Will behind. Nope. Well, they can have Force of Will, right? They've only got 2 cards. Now their Strip Mine's tapped. How much power have we got? Looks a lot like 8 power, if you ask me. Looks a lot like 8 power. End step, activate Bazaar of Baghdad. My creatures have flash. Your life points are low. Cool. So we still want against Oath. Revenge. Revenge. That was a really interesting match, actually. I know we mulliganed to 1 in one of them. As I said, that's just the cost you pay for playing the best deck in the format. And then yeah, not picking that fight on DT or Noxious and holding our permission for their payoff is questionable, I think. But I think there's a lot of questions and a lot of answers in each direction. But I'm glad it paid off. Fuck me, I'm tired. Right, yeah, I'm glad it paid off. It puts us 1-0. Okay, then round 2. We're up against John O'Miser, who doesn't have any vintage results listed. But in Pioneer they've played a fuck ton of mono white. So I think we'll just assume that that's what they're on. This doesn't look like a hand that can have too many issues against mono white, so let's hope it is that. Wouldn't hate to see a hollow one here, if I'm honest with you. So, no Chancellor, Oppo keeps 7, no Luris. My water fell over. Cool. I guess we'll go to our main phase then. And activate Bazaar, pray for a hollow one. Man, London is going off today. It's just completely mono sirens the whole time. I don't know what's going on. Maybe. So this is going to be turn 1 Vengevine. At the least, I think. Oh, Chalice as well. Yeah, so let's just give him the Vengevine to start. And then see how it develops from there. If they're on a Bazaar deck as well, they could have a Noxious here. That would be kind of annoying. Okay, so 1 Lizard onto the stack. Okay, 2nd Lizard. Okay, so 2nd Lizard made it onto the stack. I think my opponent's in another tournament because this is taking a moment. Vengevine's going to trigger. They're going to force of will my Lizard, sure. Gaze. What do they X out? Okay, so bug or oath matchup. Alright. Well, we're going to get in for 5 here. Or 4, sorry. So let's do that first. And then hopefully our Chalice is going to stop turn 2 oath. Which will help us yeah, hopefully Chalice is going to stop a turn 2 oath. Which means we'll get another activation on Bazaar. And if they're on bug, maybe our Bazaar gets wasted. Force of Will on Lizard is just like the absolute nuts, right? It's just so good for us. So opponent goes to 15. Our post-combat main phase, we're going to cast a Chalice of the Void on 0. Say done. I need to restart after this round because my Magic Online's slow as anything. So there we go. I made it through the turn. And we've got 5 power. They've got 6 cards in hand. And really it's just Noxious Revival is everything we've got here. If we're up against Oath, I think we're going to struggle. Unless we can hit 2 more creatures and a Force of Will. So what's that, like really low odds? I don't know the maths. I'm not a mathier person. But I feel like our spot's good. Okay, opponent plays a C. Plays an Emerald, which gets countered by Chalice of the Void. So that's cool. And then they pass the turn. So how do we want to play this? We could pick up the Lizard. I guess we take a draw step first. They've got 4 cards. Yeah, we should take a draw step first. Vigor, that's great. That's a great draw. So let's activate the Bazaar. Come on, Magic Online. Oh no, I just need to click it. Blue card? Blue card would be good. Wasteland would be the nuts. One lizard and a bazaar would be acceptable. So then we'd just be attacking them for like 10, 9, and Oath would be too slow. Okay, so our bazaar activation resolves. I'm going to discard Powder. Powder Vigor Vine. Counter your Oath. You counter back. I kill you. Powder Vigor Vine. Let's cast a hollow one. And then attack for 5. So fetch lands are off, Force of Wills are off at this point really for them. I don't know what they can have, like if they just play like a Oof or something, we're not really going to care. Misty Rainforest will leave them dead if they use it. This could just be a Bowmaster. So we're just not going to activate. Force Negation, cool. So attack for 9. No fetch. No block. Opponent falls to 1 then, I guess. Yeah. No point in us activating. Opponent just concedes the game. So we don't know if it's Bug or Oath. I'm going to sideboard as if it's Oath, I think. There was so much Bug in the challenge last night that it doesn't seem hard for them to be on a Bug deck. How do we hedge? I guess we could hedge by having an additional Fury. Mindbreak traps are so loose against Bug, that's the thing. Echoing Deeps looks great against both decks. Caracas is awful against Bug. Lizards aren't great either way. Poxwalkers are interesting because they're good against one and bad against another. So I need to cut 5 cards from this. I don't know. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I just don't have Caracas. And I don't have Poxwalkers. But I can tuck. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to be like leaning Bug, so additional Fury, keep the Echoing Deeps because they play Boseiju and strip in both decks. And I need 2 cuts from here. I think maybe 1 Poxwalkers is fine to go. Chalice on the draw maybe. So like a multi-way hedge, I think this is. Like I don't like Poxwalkers. I'm not big on Fury, but I have got the traps. Bizarre Force of Will, double hollow one. I've seen worse hands. This is a nice hand as well because it beats Leyline of the Void. If they play Leyline, then it's more likely that they're on Bug. Because a lot of the Oath matchups, a lot of the Oath decks are just on Emissaries and Tabs these days, rather than Leylines and stuff. So let's keep this hand. Opponent's got 7 as well, no Leyline. No Leyline, nice. So that Squee's alive. Lotus Petal, okay, so it's Oath. Right, cool. Now we know. Lotus Petal, Misty Rainforest. They fetch with the Misty. Petal probably means it's like more of a Tinker Oath deck, right? Oath of Druids. Got them. Well, they got us. I'm going to force that. If they force me, then we're going to cry a bit. Okay. Force of Will resolves. Next question. Strip Mine or Bazaar of Baghdad? Force Negation. So we could play Strip Mine. And then Strip Mine them. That's bad against Mox Oath. It's bad against Mox Oath. Bad against Noodle. Bad against Lotus Show. Bazaar's bad against Tabernacle. I mean, I've got a Bazaar, really, haven't I? 2 Vengevines, please, dealer. Opponent's only got 4 cards at this point. So hopefully it's not Land Oath. Lizard, Wasteland. So Lizard... Oh, I wish I'd stripped. Lizard, Negation, Squee, I think is going to go. And we're going to assume that they don't have another force. Not another force, another Oath. And we're just going to strip them twice. Cast a hollow one. If they've got 2 oaths, they've got 2 oaths, right? We need them to have like something shit. But like maybe like they just go, okay, sure, Tabernacle's fine. Oh, Tabernacle Emerald, that's less fine. Don't Besage me as well. Oh, DT, cool. So my creatures are going to die. We're going to strip mine that Underground Sea. We've stacked this incorrectly. If you were wondering. So we'll start off by fighting their mana producing lands. And I'm actually kind of fine with this exchange. Like, it's a bit annoying. I wish I'd stripped them last turn, but I think they were always going to get me. So let's just go Wasteland and pass. By Wasteland and pass, I mean Wasteland, kill your Underground Sea and pass the turn. That way, if they put an Oath on the stack, we can try and draw into it. And if they don't put an Oath on the stack, we can try and find a Noxious or a second Bazaar. Because I'm imagining a Strip Mine coming. Strip Mine or Oath of Druids. So they've got a Strip Mine. They're going to strip my Bazaar, I imagine. Oh no, just casting an Oath. So let's activate this in response. Hit nothing. They need to find a way to give me a creature now. So Oath's going to get through. I'm going to get my Squee back. Yep. And we're going to strip their strip. Poxwalkers is a frustrating draw. Well, it means that I can move on to like sorcery speed activations, right? Kill their strip mine so my Bazaar stays alive. They've got 2 cards in hand. We just have to fade the Orchard at this point. They're out of mana. So we need to stick to, I think I said sorcery speed a moment ago, but we need to stick to instant speed activations like this, so that our Poxwalkers can die to Tabernacles, or just, you know, draw powders, so we don't have to discard the Poxwalkers for a minute. Whilst we look for a Vigor. So obviously having 9 power in play on turn 1 would have been nice, and keeping it would have been nice. But I'm not too distressed about where the game is at. If I can find Vigor green before they can find Orchard, we should sort of like win, I think. But we do need to be careful about the Poxwalkers, and well, actually I'm declining all lizards at the moment anyway, aren't I? So the Poxwalkers probably don't matter quite so much. So yes, actually I can probably activate this. Do I want to keep a Wasteland? I don't need Hollow One, do I? So let's just play a Wasteland. Let's Wasteland the Tabernacle now, I think. Yeah, why not? Oh, that was awful. That was so bad. The whole point of the Tabernacle is it kills my creatures. What a nightmare. Never mind. Opponents next turn. But that was just nonsense. That was... I feel like I'm just down a card for no reason now. So there's a Master of Death. That's quite nice. Green card we're going to hold, so I'm going to get rid of the other Wasteland. Yeah, no, that was not very good. But we've got 2 Squees going. We've got one of the green cards now. In the future we can look at putting some creatures into play. I think we're in a good spot, really. Obviously Orchard just blows the whole game out the water and we lose, but other than that, I think we've had 3 or 4 looks for it now. Yeah, really poor use of resources there, because the Tabernacle's not doing anything. The Wasteland is better in play as a card in play. The Wasteland is better in hand as a card in hand. So, yeah, pretty... Like, there's a lot of options you have with a Wasteland, right? Whether it's discard it, play it, hold it, blah, blah, blah. Like now, look at this. So let's just read Poxwalkers quickly. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. Okay, so I'm not doing that. I'm not casting a spell from anywhere other than my hand. Let's go look for a Vigor then. I haven't seen any of them yet. There's one. Found it. So let's discard Vengevine, Squee, Lizard. Vengevine, Squee, Lizard. Say no on the Lizard. That won't trigger my Poxwalkers. No, I can't discard the Vengevine. Jesus Christ. So it's got to be Master Lizard Squee, right? And we're not casting Hollow on this turn, so no thank you. And then I guess we upkeep. What if I run headfirst into their Veil of Summer, you know? Yeah, we need to upkeep so that we can play around Orchard Flusterstorm, Orchard Spell Pierce. Orchard Flusterstorm's obviously the one that's bad. Spell Pierce we can force on. And if they've drawn in their 4 cards that they've drawn or whatever it is, if they've drawn an answer. I don't think I've put anything forward that's like debatable at the moment, like in terms of like getting a force out of them. My mind has been not functioning too well, I feel like, in this game, but hey ho. So Emerald Oath to the bin, please. Opponent's got a Force of Will. Exiling Dig Through Time will force a negation. Exiling Mindbreak Trap. Do you have another force? Do you have another force? Or a Veil of Summer? Everything's dead. They pass the turn. It's our turn. Now let's go cast some Hollow Ones, I guess. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. We'll take a draw step. Another Squee. Get to play a library as well. Is this real life? Cool. I have a Library of Alexandria, guys. A Library of Alexandria. No protection, but I do have a library. So, opponent's turn. They had no land drop last turn. Okay, opponent played an Underground Sea and then passed the turn to us. So, I'm into the idea of Wastelands here. They are at 18, so we're a long way off killing them. Lizard, I've got no Vengevines. Let's just activate. We could do with a force of some variety here. There we go. Squee, squee, squee to the bin. And then our upkeep next turn, as long as we're not forced to use this Force of Will, we will have... Oh shit, I should have discarded the Lizard. That would have actually put more power into play. This gets me onto Library. Far cooler. Land Oath with protection would be horrible for us here, because we've made it this far. We tried so hard. And in the end, they've got a Misty Rainforest. Jokes. So, Tropical Island, Oath of Druids. Counter Oath of Druids. You got 3 cards. Have you got Force of Will? No. My library's not online. Massively sad. It's 3 squeeze. We need Wasteland because of Atraxa. 3 squeeze puts me up to just 5 cards in hand. Distressing. Another Bazaar. I need a Wasteland though. I don't think I can get to Wasteland this turn really. Poxwalkers. Squee, squee. Play a Bazaar of Baghdad. And we'll attack. And like Show and Tell, Atraxa we might be able to beat. Show and Tell Severus Emissary we cannot beat. There it is, Show and Tell. Let's hope it's an Atraxa then, I guess. Discard the Squee. All the Squeeze. Let's cast this. Poxwalkers come into play. This is a Serra's Emissary, we unfortunately have to concede. But so it goes. What do I want to put into play? I guess Bazaar's fine. It's an Atraxa, which I think we can beat. Atraxa, Force of Will, Abrupt Decay, Forbidden Orchard. Okay. Force of Will, Misstep. Okay. Okay, so this is playable at the very least. All their cards are bad. So what do they get? They got Passeju, Sapphire, Decay, Atraxa. So Force went, Misstep went, Misty, Island, missed these 2. So this is what they took. They're playing a Sapphire now. They've got 4 cards in hand. We know 3 of them. I've got more Bazaars than they can actually believe in. So, yeah. Great spot. We're going to get onto a library as well. That can't be true. It looks like we are. You ready for a library activation? I most certainly am. Seiju, Abrupt Decay. Look at this. 6 cards in hand. Give me a 7th. Give me an 8th. Oh, wow. You're so dead. You're so dead. Fury Atraxa. The Bug Hedge. The Bug Hedge coming in clutch. Hilarious. I would like to cast this by exiling a red card, please. This is my red card of choice. Good job, library. Eurotrax is dead. Whoop. And then we attack them for more points than 9. What's so funny about that, though, is my attack was going to be Hollow on Poxwalker. So that everything kills the Atraxa. And yeah, they gain some life points. Yeah, they get to, decay something, blah, blah, blah. But top deck double Fury when you've hedged against the bug matchup. Hilarious. 2 games to go. See you in a mo. Okay, so round 3, Vintage Challenge up against GYBA. We're going to take a mulligan, if our internet allows it. Still no Bazaar. So, opponent's kept 6. We can't keep this, so we're going to go to 5. And we can't keep this, so we're going to powder. We're going to keep the Fury in our deck if they're on mono white usually. A couple of Squeeze and Hollow one go. This hand's not great, but it's playable. By that I mean we've got Bazaar of Baghdad, right? Avengevine would be a nice draw. 6 cards in hand for the opponent, and we're hoping... I think we're hoping mono white over duel, but I'm not too sure. This doesn't indicate anything. Probably more mono white than duel, I guess, on Petal, but I think they all play it. I don't know. I assume duel plays Petal. Hard to say, hard to say. Okay. We've got the... I think there's some big limited or pauper event going on. So it means that this doesn't... okay, white. Oh, God, fuck. Yeah, we've got a big pauper event going on, I think. Or maybe it's a limited event. But I think everyone's multi-queuing today. So 2 cards in hand for the opponent. I think I might just wasteland them. Get some infos. They've used their fast mana now. I can never bring that Avengevine out. So I'm going to play Wasteland. And the reason I'm going to play Wasteland is if they then play Wasteland, then I can Wasteland their Wasteland and then play my Bazaar. It's quite slow. I'm not fond of it. But that's where we are. Turn 1 Archon's just a bit tough. We've only got 1 Fury. We need them to not have another white source here. They only play 2 of them, so we might be okay in that sense. And if they miss a land drop, we can just waste them. So... no plays pre-combat, they're just getting their 2 points of damage. Trinisphere? Ugh, that's gross. Okay, well I've got a Wasteland at least. That's going to help me cast some spells. That's really good against us, isn't it? That's really good. Playing Bazaar wouldn't have changed any of this. Just being on the draw. So Force of Vigor, so something to work towards. Pass the turn. We've got 3 more Wastelands and a library and a strip to go and find before we get to participate. We need the opponent to miss on all the Wastelands and all the mana and blah blah blah. But it sounds doable. Ah, no, we're just dead. Alright, cool. Next game. Next game or keep playing? I think we'll just watch it happen. Sorry this is going to be so slow, but we're just going to watch it happen. I think we'll concede to white source. But at some point when we're around 6 to 8 life, we'll be able to concede the game properly, sort of thing. So, nothing there. Nope. I don't know at what point's correct. Like, I think we can concede at any moment and it's fine. But whilst we have Vigor and access to drawing outs, we should maybe make the most of that. Not just concede a game because we're 98% dead. There's still outs in a game like this, where your mono-white opponents used all their white mana once. We just never got to activate a Bazaar, right? And I don't think we were ever actually going to get to activate a Bazaar in this game. So, discard Poxwalkers. But post board we will get 4 Furies into our deck. We'll get to drop the white, not the white, a few of the blue spells maybe. Caracas and Echoing Deeps will come in. They'll help pay for Trinispheres and Thalias. Opponent's got 5 cards in hand. We get to play another Wasteland. So 1 more land and 1 more turn cycle. And then we get to start vigoring stuff. And then what? And we need to Nox our Bazaar. We're at 10. Opponent gets in for 2. Please no white source. Come on, dude. We've got an agreement. This is all you do. Can I draw enough lands? That's the game. Cool. I think that does it really. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay. They did have Wastelands. So, what do we want? We want these cards at least. We can consider the traps. We want all our lands. We don't need Misstep. We don't need Negations. We don't need Forces. That just lines up perfect. Is that how I built it? I think so. I think that's what we've got planned here. Still 1 week until Misstep becomes uncuttable. So what's that? That's 13 lands. I like this actually. Mindbreak Trap for their turn 1 nonsense. Furies to clean up. Vigors to clean up. Chalice to bink. And more creatures. Yeah, it's just that turn 1 Archon. And you know, that's part of the matchup, isn't it? If your opponent's got turn 1 Archon, turn 2 Trinisphere. I don't think that's a downfall of our deck. I think that's a part of the vintage format. Other decks might be able to draw out of it better because they play mana producing lands, but you know, we did our best, so it goes. And now we bring in all the lands. Even if they don't have a Thalia, Caracas can still be good just because it's a mana producing land. So to play through things like Trinisphere, Tabernacle, these sorts of things. Okay, game 2. We're on the play this time. No Bazaar, so we're going to mulligan. Bazaar, Poxwalkers, Hollow 1, Wasteland, Wasteland. Powder, cool. So Powder's going to hit the bottom of the deck. We'll see what they mulligan to. They've mulliganed to 6. We're going to keep this. Say done. Well, do they play ley lines? Do they play Tabernacles? If there's a ley line, then obviously our hand's a bit weaker just because it's not 8 power. It's only 4 or 5 depending on what we decide to do and what we draw. But I think either way the Poxwalkers is leaving our hand this turn. I think I'd much rather have wastes and that sort of thing. Okay, opponent mulliganed to 5, kept 5, put 2 on the bottom, doesn't have a ley line. And we've got a Bazaar. So we'll play Bazaar, we're discarding Lizard Poxwalkers here, Lizard Poxwalkers Squee. They didn't have Tabernacles in their most recent mono-white list. That doesn't mean they can't have Tabernacles now, but we can have a Poxwalkers and a Hollow 1. And if they tab us, then they tab us. So it will be. No Chancellor either, so you've got to assume it's just like a turn 1 Priest or some shit. This is my 8 power though. So they draw a card for the turn up to 6. I don't even know what we're afraid of here other than Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. So Lotus Petal. Chrome Mox. I shouldn't have really yielded through their turn when I'm holding a trap. Chrome Mox exiles Archon. Wasteland comes into play. Wasteland's my Bazaar of Baghdad. That's fine. And then they pass the turn. Oh no, Chrome Mox doesn't exile Archon, it exiles Emeria. So that's fine. They've only got 2 cards left. I get a Squee. Top deck a Lizard, play a Wasteland, pass the turn. Well, 8 them, then pass the turn. So this trap's not going to be online in the end. They went for the Wasteland over anything else. And they've got a Containment Priest. Sure, so Containment Priest is just going to be a Lizard. Can't think of anything less impactful to this board state right now. They've got 1 card, 1 mana, and I've got the answer to a Tabernacle. So what gets them back into the game here? Like if they just go, well, that might help. No. I was thinking like plough block sort of thing. Containment Priest jamming for 2, also fine. Force of Vigor would really bury this game. It's back to us. They got another Priest. Another Priest doesn't really make sense, does it? I'm just going to play this Tabernacle. I don't care. Not Tabernacle, strip mine. I think we'll sit, wait and watch as well. No point in Furying a card that's not doing anything, right? It's just a 2-2 there at 6. It's much better for us to Fury something like an Archon of Absolution later. Opponent's had enough. Perfect. 1 activation and done. I don't think I want any of these cards on the draw. Chalice is a bit weaker on the draw. The forces aren't good into Cavern of Souls though. Caracas I think is our weakest and weirdest card to have in, but it just does beat a Tabernacle so well that even if they didn't have it in their last list, I think I'm happy to have it in my deck. Beats Tabernacle, beats Thalia. Helps with the Trinisphere problem. But look at our hand. So fucking sick. So obviously fairly exposed to Leyline of the Void, so it goes. Fairly exposed to basically everything. We need to top deck a Squee or a Lizard to turn on this Fury. Opponent keeps 6, puts a card on the bottom. They play a Leyline, so puts them on 5. They're on the play. Poxwalkers are dead. Master of Death is dead. Let's see what their other 5 cards are. See if they're good. Hopefully not a turn 1 Archon or a turn 1 Trinisphere. That would be mega annoying. We do have a hollow one, so that's like a little bit of threat. So it's probably going to be like Powder, Poxwalkers, or Powders, Poxwalkers, Master, let go. I don't know. But hopefully just Fury your team and yeah, Fury your turn 1 plays and then play a hollow one. That's hopefully going to be the line. But they've only got 5 cards to do it with. That's a basic planes, that's interesting. Basic planes, no plays, so we've kept on the strength of Leyline of the Void. Which is fair enough, Leyline's pretty good. I've got a Mindbreak Trap, which will be nice later. Try and keep that one in hand. Yeah, so let's just go Powder, Poxwalkers, cast a hollow one. They didn't have Tabernacle last time out, so that's what we're kind of playing for here, is them to not have Tabernacle and Leyline. 5 cards, so our trap could be live. It's just an Ancient Tomb though, and that's an Anointed Peacekeeper. Anointed Peacekeeper might get taxed by Fury. I'm almost 100% to Wasteland this Ancient Tomb though, to be honest with you, unless they decide to feed my Mindbreak Trap something. But the Fury's scary. They might just bink the Bazaar and pray I don't hit a red card. But then they're getting Wastelanded, so maybe they have to name Wasteland actually, because Wasteland's going to really do a number on them. Lotus Petal. They named Bazaar. I just immediately bink. So let's play this. Let's strip them. Let's Fury the Peacekeeper. And then pass the turn. They're at 10. They have a Lotus Petal, they have a Wasteland. What does the Wasteland get them? It gets them a Peacekeeper. Let's activate Bazaar, why not? See if we can find another waste. We can't. Let's just hold a Hollow one just in case, I guess. Could have held a Vengevine. Could have activated on my turn. Didn't think about a third Hollow one. But this is just chump blocking, right? There's no way this is doing anything that's relevant. Looks like we should be okay. Oh, straight to combat. I nearly pressed OK as well. So 8U. You want to block? Nope. Opponent concedes the match. So that was long and dull and very boring for me, but we're 3-0. Okay, so round 4, we're up against Mogged, and this is like the nut low matchup against the nut high player. We will keep this. We've got a Wasteland, but they're going to be on Blue Black Lyris Saga with Bowmasters, Sagas, 5 Strip Mines, pass to their second main phase. And this is okay, so Mogged has just skipped their turn and passed to me. That's a play that they can make. Maybe they're just demonstrating how good the matchup is for us. I don't know. I'd like a Hollow one though. No, just 3 Squeeze. And I've got to keep Wasteland, I've got to keep Noxious. This is a nice way to build into the game. So, unless, well, they can't be on Dredge, they went, yeah, no, I've got no idea what they're doing. Don't know why you'd pass turn 1. Unless you're just holding infinite Wastelands. And infinite Forces, yeah, here we go. So they Wasteland us. No point in waiting till my turn, because I can't cast the negations on my turn. So they have a misstep, they have a negation on your misstep, and they have a force back. Cool. So maybe I could have just passed the whole cycle. They force me. Yeah, maybe that's better actually, as I pick up the Master and the Squeeze, and then I have another piece of interaction behind. But 4 cards for them, 5 cards for me. I mean, not really, but you get what I mean. This doesn't mean we can draw to a library at some point though. Another Squee, cool. We'll do the same play as them, we'll just hold. I wonder if I am supposed to just chill out there. Also, they just kept Wasteland, Force, Misstep. They might have mocks in it they're going to use later, but like if we can find a Bazaar, we're actually in shape, right? Speak of the devil. Hello, my friend. They might just have another Wasteland for us, so we need to always activate Bazaar as if it's our last activation, I think. Squee, Poxwalkers, I believe, is going to be our discard. We're holding the Vengevine because a future Vigor will help against Sagas and stuff like that. But we're discarding the Poxwalkers because then when we get Wastelanded next turn, if we end up drawing to 7, we can discard a Lizard and put like a relevant amount of power into play. So that's the thought process there. I don't know how I feel about that keep though from them. I mean, like, imagine their hand is Wasteland, Wasteland. So what, Wasteland, Wasteland, Force, Negation, Misstep. So yeah, it does look good, right? That's assuming they've got the second waste. The issue with it is if I'm just on Dredge, then I discard, 3 Thinkweedums or whatever. I don't know how you're beating that from this position. So we'll pass back to them. We've got a Force of Will up in case they try to do something that's good and scary. We've got a Wasteland if they just deploy a Saga. No plays. So now I just have a Bazaar effect. Is this actually true? Okay. The hand just couldn't beat 2 Bazaars. That is a thing. That can happen. So 2 Bazaars, no Moxen. No Moxen yet. Not deploying Moxen, but giving me draws means that they have to fight over chalices. Interesting keep. I think it's good if you know I'm on Squee. I think it's bad if you think there's outs I can be on Dredge. So we've drawn another Bazaar again. So, just 3 Bazaars in the top 14. I mean, you guys have seen me keeping off 7s, that's not a surprise. It's good if you shuffle them to the top of your deck. Okay, so first Bazaar activation resolves and we draw fuck all. So let's discard triple Squee. Let's play another Bazaar, activate that. Lizard Hollow 1 wouldn't go amiss. Right, so just Vigor. Okay. So, what do we discard here? Powder Vengevine Master? Powder Squee Master? Powder Wasteland Master? Yeah, I think I like Powder Wasteland Master. Because now I get to hold on to a Vigor, just in case they do deploy a bunch of crap. And make us sad. Like Wasteland, Lotus, Spreading Seas. I don't know, I'm just trying to come up with ways that this goes wrong. We've got a very big graveyard, we've got infinite squeeze going. It's just minimising ways we can lose. So opponent's turn, they've got 7 cards in hand at this point and they've not played a mana source this game. The initial salvo did favour them, but neither of us have been able to press the 2 advantages that we've gained so far, right? So they've got a Wasteland, which is fine by me. Wasteland kills one of my Bazaars, that's not a massive drama. It's a massive drama if they follow up with another Wasteland next turn. But have you heard of Squee? And I will pick up the Master here. Okay, so Squee comes back. Squee comes back. Just give me all of it. Just every single one. Yeah, thank you. Draw step. Chalice on 0 looks good too. So let's just do Lizard, Squee, Squee. Lizard's going to bring in a Poxwalkers. We'll get to play a Wasteland this turn. Now we've actually got threats. I actually quite like where we're at. And I will fight over Chalice, I think. Chalice just slows them down so astronomically. Force negation, pitching, force negation. So I'm just going to Force of Will, pitching, Master of Death. And now I'd probably let it go. I don't think I'd fight back because I want something that can fight over a Bowmaster later. So I don't think they have main deck Needle in this list. I'm going to check though. Yeah, no main deck Needles. Oh, we won. Cool. No main deck Needles from them. Post board though, they've got Crypt, Soul Guide, Tabernacle. What was it? There's a ridiculous amount of hate. 1 Soul Guide, 1 Needle, 1 Cage, 1 Fluster, 1 Crypt, 1 Tab. It's quite a lot. So I want Echoing Deeps. I want Furies. I don't think I care about Caracas. That's just 4 cuts. I think one of the Chalices can go. I think maybe then it's just the 3 Poxwalkers. I just need to be able to beat. I just need to beat Bowmaster. which I'm not convinced this configuration does, but, you know. Do I want traps? I don't think so. Library's funny. But we are going to powder. Library on the draw is good, but it's not good enough. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. That's a mulligan. That's a mulligan. Maybe powder on. Maybe, you know, keep 2 cards. Mulligan. Put 4 cards on the bottom. I don't want to. So dumb. Keep 2 Bazaars and a Vengevine. See what the opponent can come up with. They've got a Wasteland. And Pithing Needle. We're probably dead. Probably dead. A Sapphire. And a Soaring. See, this is more the experience that I'm used to. Wasteland. Yeah, we'll Wasteland a Wasteland. That might have been bad actually. Now they're just going to play Saga. And we're going to die. Looks like they're cycling a Lorien on instep here. They did, I just lagged a lot. They buy Lurrus. We've got a hollow one. We'll pass the turn. I play a Bauble. They Bauble someone. We cycle a Lorien, they play a Lurrus, they play a Bauble. Cool. So we're not going to be hanging around too much longer. We're just going to take a quick draw step here and see what we get. They've seen my top card. I think they've seen their top card. They draw 2. And get Fury. Right. Let's go to the next one. This time we'll be on the play and we'll mulligan less. I don't like these negations, but I think they're a necessary evil. Wasteland Needle. Pretty tough on the draw. There we go. I like this a lot more. They do have Tabernacle in their deck, so we do need to fight tutors if we're able to. We've got a Noxious, which will be a second Bazaar. We've got a Vigor to kill cages and other nonsense. So, a good opener for us. We need them to, I don't know, mulligan to 3 or something. Okay, 2 players on 7, a fair fight. I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't actually up for a fair fight. I was up for them mulliganing to 5 or something, but that's fine. That's fine. I guess it's better this way. So, Wasteland, another Noxious. We're going to stick a bunch of power into play. And then we'll probably get Wastelanded. I mean, that's what happens here. They've kept 7. We don't have an answer to a Bowmaster at the moment, so that's our big threat, or their big threat, other than Wasteland, obviously. Tabernacle would be a pretty annoying thing for them to have as well. They're going to bauble me, take a look, take a peek. Play a Wasteland. And here I think I'm just going to chill out for a moment. And not pick up the Bazaar this turn. I'd like to draw a blue card. They draw a card. I draw a Noxious, okay. So let's play a Wasteland. They know about the Noxious. What do we think about giving them a Wasteland or something? Nah, that's not good. I've got so many Noxious, I think I can just let them counter 1. You have another bauble, that's fine. I'm going to take a look at their own deck. So I've not got an answer to any tutors at the moment. That's a Wasteland. Wasteland's a Soul Guide Lantern. Give me my Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. So I've got a Bazaar floating. I've got Bazaar floating. But what do you think about Wasteland U? Noxious. You crack Soul Guide. I Noxious. I play Wasteland for the turn. So Wasteland U. Noxious, Noxious. Wasteland. And then that way I can't die to a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. And that's the only thing that beats us at the moment. I'm going to go for that. So that's Wasteland U. It's Noxious my Wasteland. I've got a Bazaar underneath the Wasteland. They'll probably exile in response, they don't. So now I get to draw and play Wasteland. They draw a card for the turn. Now Tabernacle's beaten. We attack for 6. We go to 4. We can beat a Saga, we can beat a Tabernacle. We'll struggle against a Time Walk. Play Mox Pearl. Pearl kills a Soul Guide Lantern. That's good, that's desperate. We win the match. Nice. That was cool. That was cool. Noxious beat Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale and Soul Guides. That was cool. And I thought that was better than Vigoring the Soul Guide. 4-0. See you next round. So just a quick note going into the final 2 rounds here. I've got the nut low opponent match win percentage. We need to do something better than that because GYBA is currently 1-3. John O'Miser is currently 2-2. Etu Star stopped playing a while ago and Mogd is 3-1. So basically we need one of the last 2. Okay, so round 5 we're up against Phantom Man 95. Usually on like a Lurus Breach list, but recently got an Esper list in a 5-0. So we're going to powder this hand, rip our Chalice. We're going to powder this hand, rip our Library, and we're going to go to 6. What a great day out. Now we'll go to 5. Opponent has the lovely information that we're on Squee as they keep their opener. We're going to powder this. I think I've already exiled too many Wastelands to be exiling Wastelands. We'll get rid of just 3 of the Vengevines. 3 Vengevines, 3 Lizards, and a Poxwalkers. Approaching territory where it might get hard to win a game. Let's make that harder by exiling another Vengevine. So we'll go to 4, and we'll keep this. Opponent's kept on 6. 3 cards go down. You know what, I think it's just going to be Force, Noxious. I'm on the play. This is my 8 power. I wish you luck. I think that sounds like a game plan I'm interested in employing. So Bazaar, activate. Can't hit a Vengevine here, so that's not a thing. So Squee, Poxwalker, Basking Rootwaller will go away. Opponent's on 6 cards. They need a combo kill. Oh, they've got... They've not revealed a Lurus. Good time to notice when you're already deep into making plays in the game. over to them. Obviously, we could have taken a less aggressive approach. So it looks like they're on their Espatinka list. So, polluted delta and a fetch. Soul Ring. Nothing else. Okay. So their Espatinka list does not have a main deck Sphinx of the Steelwind. It does have 3 main deck Hull Breachers. So Squee's going to come back. We're going to draw a card for the turn. Another Bazaar. I don't really want that. I kind of want blue cards. None of those available. So let's come off the second Bazaar. We'll pop in another Lizard and we'll strip mine their island. I think that sounds like a good play. Because one issue we're going to have very shortly is that we won't be able to be activating Bazaar of Baghdad's into untapped mana. So if this is their blue source, then it's dead. They might be able to cycle a Lorien here, but that's one of those things, right? Yeah, it looks like they've got it, which makes our next activation a bit more difficult if they've got 3 mana open. So over to Tundra. They're on 11. They're approaching dead. So what does Tundra do? Main deck, it doesn't look like it does anything. Oh, they're just on a different deck. Okay, cool. Monastery Mentor. Mentor's a bit good, I think. Wonder if we can draw a Fury. Nope. I'm going to activate my Bazaar and I'm not going to pick up my Strip Mine. I'm going to come off Force of Will. I'm going to come off Force of Vigor. We're going to go for like more of a tempo kill here, I think. So let's attack everyone, don't care. Maximum damage. They block a Lizard. They take, what's that, 8? That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage to be taking at this time in the afternoon. Now we will cast a Hollow One. They force it. I don't like that. Let's cast a Hollow One. That gets through. So we're then going to do nothing, I guess. They're paying costs. Mystical Tutor. We're going to be giving them that polluted delta. I'll tell you that for free. So Mystical Tutor is going to resolve. They get an Ancestral. Would you like a polluted delta, my friend? Can I interest you in a polluted delta? They've got a Force of Will. So they go to 2. We've got 1 card. We assume Island, yeah, Underground Sea. Ancestral's going to line up the board. There's a lot of triggers. We need to draw a Fury. I don't think they can attack, but they might find one. Oh, brutal. Okay. I mean, the good thing is we look so much like the Abyss here, don't we? Like all of our threats are pretty good. Top deck Fury is the world here, unless their last card is Force of Will. But otherwise, we're just going to be jamming really hard. Wasteland. Oh, yeah. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. Let's activate Bazaar. Ugh. Right, we're just going to wasteland their Tundra post-combat. Not their Tundra, sorry, their Sea. A plough would be horrible news for us. That activation was probably really bad actually, seeing as I know I'm trading off a Poxwalker here. They're just going to do one in front of each. Yeah, that activation should have been later, because if I hit another lizard, then I get my Poxwalker straight back. It looks like they're taking one to try and stay alive next turn as well. Yep. And then we'll Wasteland their Underground Sea. I think that's the more threatening card with DTs and stuff. So they go up to 3 cards. We need them to have like just lands in hand, which is a pretty tough ask. Especially when it says your opponent's paying costs. Yep, so they pay a mana to probe us. They see the good news, my hand is empty. They already knew that. Oh, fuck me. That's not cool. Wow. The power of Monastery Mentor. We've got 1 card in hand. Is Mental getting in? Mental's getting in. I go to 8. Fury. Any Furies going? It might already be exiled actually. No, it's not. Yeah, I think the squad goes in. Like, we just need to churn through these tokens, right? They have to block every time. They've got 1 card in hand again. A plough at any moment probably just ends the game. They're on 2 cards this turn. Saga's horrible for us. Whew. Sweaty stuff. Sweaty stuff. But, you know, sometimes that happens. So what do we want? I guess we want traps. I think against the Tundra deck, I think in the dark I am going to bring in a couple of Caracas to play around Lavinia's. Because their last deck, it said Esper Tinker on the box, but I'm just looking at it and it's just for Sphinx of the Steelwind. They had no Mentor last time. So they're on a bit of a different list to use. These blue cards seem great. I think I'm going to bring in a Fury as well. Just a bonus one. So that's 6 cards. So I think something like Poxwalkers can get out of here. Maybe these Furies are a bit weird. I don't really want to drop the Librador. I quite like libraries. It's just such a nice deck, right? You can go to the bazaar and you can buy some books. You can go to the library and you can borrow some books. I don't know, mono book control over here. Right, so this is all distracting me from what I want to, how I want to sideboard. I need all the blue cards, that's for sure. I want the Furies just to clean up Hull Breachers and Mentors. 3 cuts from this is tough though. What do you think? Like a Lizard, a Noxious, and maybe just one of the Caracas. We'll just have 1 Caracas to play around Lavinia. We'll submit that. Because they're not on a deck that they've played recently enough for me to go scrolling through their Goldfish history. This hand looks decent though, doesn't it? I think if we don't get Needled on 1, this hand looks pretty darn good. Leyland's fine. You got it. Underground Sea, no plays. So maybe like an upkeep Ancestral. No. Okay. Let's just play a Bazaar and activate it. Lizard, Bazaar, negation. Cast this. Cast a hollow one. Hope for a force of will. Cast a hollow one. Hope for a force of will. No, okay. If we get tabbed, we get tabbed. If we get tabbed, we've got a graveyard. So, classic case of when do you cast your Vigor. I think we can chill for a moment. Try and get ourselves a Saga. There's a Tabernacle at Pendle Vale, that's cool. So, we'll just pass actually. So, how does this work? Yeah, I think we'll just pass. We'll let our stuff die. There was an argument that I could have played around Tabernacle in some way, but I think I'm happy with where we're at. If they've got Force of Will, then we're clearly very far behind. I think what we'll do is we'll take a draw step. Mindbreak Trap's really nice. We'll cast a play a Wasteland, we'll waste the Underground Sea. And then we'll go to their turn and we will Vigor on upkeep. We could have waited and tried to get a trap out of them, but Phantom Man's a good player. He might not run headfirst into a trap, so Moxjet. There's a Saga, yeah, that's the problem with going upkeep, right? Black Lotus, good grief. Not ideal for the home team. And yeah, you see, just 2 spells please. That's all they're interested in. So we're going to not do any sort of activations here. We're going to draw a card for the turn because we need to find a Wasteland again. Hollow one. Hollow one's already dead, so there's a Wasteland. They've got 3 cards. I will cast the thing just because. Play a Wasteland, Wasteland your Saga. And pass across to Phantom Man. So I feel behind, very behind. Tundra, Time Vault. You got a key over there? Nope. Okay, we'll flip our Bazaar over. Force Negation and a Lizard. Why not? Pop a Lizard into play. And then all this, like, casting this Lizards does is it does just, like, play around like a random Mindbreak Trap or something stupid, you know? We find a Squee, and it's over to them. So Squee's going to be good. Next turn we'll have 2 cards and a dead Lizard. They've only got 2 cards as well. Oh, they've untapped the Time Vault. Our man's a gamer. That's an amount of combo that I don't know if we'll be able to beat, but we'll activate Cracker's Force Noxious. I think I'm going to keep the Force of Will as I try and build into this game. They're going to get 2 turns, it's going to be tough to beat. They've got 2 cards, Lotus, Jet, Time Vault. So any tutor wins. Any Saga basically wins. So maybe actually just because the Saga winning we're supposed to keep a Noxious in hand. But then they've got 2 turns of Saga, right? So yeah, they take an extra turn here. And now their Time Vault's tapped, they've got 3 cards, they've got a Wasteland, fuck, sure. Also, they're just on like the Justin No Academy list. That would make sense. Okay, so we'll hang out here and watch ourselves die for a minute or 2. just wait for them to actually show us that we're dead, you know? Underground Sea. They're getting pretty close to Hardcast Sphinx as well. Red Lizard. Yeah, the Tabernacle just bought too much time here, right? And our Wasteland was proactive against the Underground Sea, but they've just drawn so many lands. 4 cards to the opponent, and they're just out there gold fishing. So Leyline of the Void gets hard cast from them. We've got Mindbreak Trap, which means Force is now on. Back to us. Powder, back to them. The nice thing about games like this is when you've dillied and dallied around a bit, and now you're just like dead, and it's excruciatingly not quite dead. This does interesting. This does equalise the clock as well. Is Needle good? Where's my library? There's a Bazaar in Exile. How's there a Bazaar in Exile? What happened there? Oh, Leyline. There's Bazaar in Exile. My game plan currently revolves around Vigor anyway, so I think they can have that. They're gonna name Bazaar, I think. If they name Library, they're a saint. They name Bazaar. And that's a Fury. Okay. I probably shouldn't yield the whole turn away, actually. That's a Powder going to Exile. Do you want to give me another turn? No. Okay. So there's a Vigor in our graveyard. There's no Vigors in Exile, so we've got 3 of those left in 35. That's a Mindbreak Trap. So, as I said, I shouldn't be passing like this. I will discard the Fury here. I don't think the Fury does anything. Opponent doesn't want to give me another turn. Back to me anyway. I draw a Squee, so one of those can probably go to the bin at this point. It's going to be a hard game for us to win, I think. Opponent's got 7 cards. Oh, Mox Pearl, yeah, you got it. Mox Sapphire, yeah. Talk to me about my Mindbreak Traps. No. They already know. They know about the Mindbreak Traps. They're too good. Hey, look, a lizard. Oh, cast it. Just, you know. It's nice to have a permanent every now and then. So, Phantom Man's turn again. We're looking like our hand's starting to sculpt into one that's not dead, right? Powder can get exiled. Choosing whether to skip a turn. Polluted Delta. Back to us. Vengevine. Yeah, I think the Squee can go at this point. So our route to victory from here includes Vigor. Vigor, the Needle, Vigor, the Leyline. After that we activate a Bazaar, discard some Vengevines, cast some Hollow Ones, strip mine your Tabernacle. All makes sense to me. Visitor thinks there's still a window and it's just another Leyline. Do I want to go through 2 Vigors? I think 1 Vigor's fine, right? 1 Vigor should work. We can just go after the Needle in the Time Vault at that point. So that's a Bazaar. I will play it, so we're not discarding to hand size. If they have a Wasteland, they have a Wasteland. We've still got Library. Library doesn't help with Hollow One though. So back to us. Oh, upkeep effects. Ancestral yourself. Yeah, you got it, buddy. I'm not able to play against the Ancestrals right now. I don't know if you've noticed, but I am under the gun somewhat. I'm going to discard one of these Vengevines. I am 5 cards behind our opponent in terms of cards in deck. I can't beat a Saga at any moment. Soaring's fine. It's back to us. They discard to hand size, they discard a plough. I've got a wasteland, that's cool. So at some point in the future, we've got a strategy. Opponent untaps for the turn. The wasteland's good, but we'll hold on to it until we're asked to use it, basically. We've got 8 cards in hand. One thing that's an issue is the concept of... Oh, that's cool. Flusterstorms, Hull Breachers, just generally everything else you can think of. They've got 7 cards, I've got 7 cards. How many hollow ones have we been through? Okay, this is my last hollow one. It's not ideal. This is my penultimate Vengevine. Okay. I think we'll discard a negation then. I don't like it, but I think I've got to hold the hollow one. Phantom Man wants another turn. Turn 22. Do I need to fight now, or can I just fight when they do something? I think we can wait. Like, I need these traps online, I think. I don't know what to do. Alright, how many lizards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 lizards left, 1 Vengevine left. 4 lizards, 1 Vengevine. That's not a lot of threats. That's not a lot of threats at all, is it? Can I afford to discard this hollow one? Probably not. I just need them to cast a spell. Yeah, do that. Lavinia, fuck. Lavinia's a savage. So, it's Vigor, Time Vault, and Needle. Opponent plays a Flusterstorm. It's Force of Will. Oh no. Let's let the Storm Trigger resolve. It's Force pitching Force on the Lavinia. Opponent's paying some mana. And now we'll Mind Break Trap their Force of Will, their 3 Flusterstorms, and Lavinia Azorius Renegade. And then we'll press Done and pray that that lights up their cards. Perfect. They Force of Will again, pitching a Force of Will. We'll Mind Break Trap, pitching Force of Will, Fluster, Lavinia. Done. And we'll say a prayer. That looks good. And that all looks good. Right, so we can't beat anything else for the rest of the game. Just so we are all kind of clear as to where we're at here. Too late, library. You would have been so cool earlier. Cool. I have a threat. You'll go. That's it. That's the whole game. That's the whole game, the whole plan. I imagine Mr. Phantoman has something additional to do here, based on the fact that I think that's all of their lands. So Soul Guide Lantern's fine. That doesn't really do anything against the idea that we're currently having. Soul Guide Lantern kills a Bazaar. That's cool. There's nothing in my graveyard that's relevant. My Bazaar is now pretty much dead. Exactly, yeah, they're going to draw a card. They play a Strip Mine. They Strip Mine my Bazaar. That's fine. And I'm going to Wasteland their Tabernacle. So I'm going to pretty soon be back to having no permanents, I think. So let's kill the Tabernacle. We can concede to a Plough, really. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. We're dead. So, weird game, interesting game. We won the big battle but lost the war. I don't know how they're killing us at the moment. Because I've still got lizards. Oh, here we go. Here's some mana. Lure and Reveal draws and 3 cards. I'm still 2 cards behind on deck, so yeah, Saga, fine. Right. Let's go to game 3. Okay, so sideboarding for game 3. I think I want my Lizard back, and I want my Caracas, and I want my Echoing Deeps. I don't want these 2 Furies. I don't want this Lizard. Do I want Noxious? They're very Wasteland heavy, aren't they? So maybe I want Noxious over a Squee. Yeah, I can see the logic. Right. Let's ship it. Good luck, us. Okay, I would love to play first. Thank you for offering. Bizarre. Keep. Complex decisions. Difficult discards, though. Difficult discards. It might just be Bizarre Go. Bizarre Go. Bizarre Go, Vigor You. Bizarre Go, Vigor You, Leyline. Activate in response. Discarding Powder. Wasteland. Revival. Discarding Powder, Wasteland, Revival. Force negation. Your force. You wasteland me, I lose. That's not a good line. So, is there something better we can do? Bizarre. Vigor Your Leyline. Bizarre Vigor Your Leyline just dies to wasteland, right? So in that case, we could consider leading on wasteland. But then we're not getting into blue cards. The combination of them being a combo deck, a wasteland deck, and a leyline deck is pretty tough. That said, the good news is our opponent has kept on 5 cards and there's no leyline in play. So now we can just remove leyline from the equation for a moment. They could always cast it in the future, but now they're on a wasteland hand, right? Wasteland Needle, maybe a tab. But that means we are going to play Bizarre. And I think we'll still pass the turn. Yeah, because I want more information. I don't have any Squeeze. The only discard I've got here is a Powder. That's just a Tundra. Ah, I see. Lavinia. Okay. Turn 1 Lavinia is good. It kind of deconstructs my deck into exactly Vengevines. If they play another Moxen, we have to activate in response because of Hull Breacher. They've just got like a turn 1 Tinker. They're in the tank a bit here. No plays, right. There's no draw hate at this. Oh, Containment Priest, sure. And I've just taken out my Furies. Awkward. Oh god, that's so hard. Powder, Noxious, and a Wasteland. These are the ones where you make your money, you know, where it's difficult discards on cards you don't want to be discarding. CounterVine. I'm going to play a Wasteland. I'm going to Wasteland their Tundra aggressively. Paying costs. Ancestrals himself. I'm going to Force of Will your Ancestral. You don't have a force back. Cool. We're going to hold on the idea of killing their Mox Pearl for now. So we're going to let them play a Saga first. No plays. Let's activate Bazaar on end step. No plays is pretty good for us, really, isn't it? So CounterVine, Master of Death. I don't want to discard a Wasteland, I'm not going to lie to you. Well, actually, I've got a Noxious, right? Yeah, that's fine. I can get it back and I can hold Open Vigor. Mind Break Trap, not Mind Break Trap, Ravenous Trap would be piss annoying here. So I've got a Squee going now. We need to play around Saga, that's mandatory. We can assume they've got a Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. Do I even want to activate here? What I can do is I can play a Bazaar. I can't beat a Saga though, that's the thing. Like, I can beat a Saga, but I can't beat a Saga from like wasting twice, right? So Luring Revealed is fine. Luring Revealed is fine. That's going to get them back into blue. They just get a Tundra, cool. So I think they can't be holding Containment Priest, right? Containment Priest doesn't make any sense from the way this game's played out. They would have had time to play it. I'm just going to flip once, I think. CounterVine Squee. Yeah, cool. Do I want to pick up a Wasteland? Wasteland, a Tundra. Come off the Vigor. I think so. I think that sounds good to me. So let's Noxious a Wasteland. Let's activate Bazaar of Baghdad. Let's see if we can find another Squee. We cannot. Brutal. This might be punty. This might be very punty. Yep. Brainstorm in response, okay. Brainstorm is not Flusterstorm. I can see them having Tabernacle in hand. That would make sense to me. But the fact that we're getting a 2-for-1 Force of Will pitching Time Walk on this Wasteland just shows that they're kind of struggling, right? They've only got 2 cards. Yes, we're hellbent. We've got 2 Bazaars and 2 Squees. I'm going to give the boys a little flick here. Another Bazaar and a Hollow One gone. I mean, our deck could have been in a better order. I could have shuffled better. It's all about stacking your deck on these digital clients. You've got to give the average Reddit user enough complaint equity in a week to make sure they come back and continue feeding the economy. So that's why I stacked my deck with Bazaar and Hollow One. Okay, that's fine. We've got a Force of Will now. They've only got 2 cards. So we should be able to try and build back into this game, but we are aggressively exposed to some Sagas because that's the way I've played it. I spent 10 minutes saying I can't beat a Saga to then completely come off the idea of ever being able to beat a Saga. And they can definitely have Saga here, right, because they brainstormed last turn. Paying costs. Looks like Lavinia to me. There's Lavinia. They've got 2 cards left. Straight through. You love to see it. No Saga, no Saga. We'll once again give the kids a flick. That's 1 Lizard and a 4th Wasteland. Holy hell. Let's cast this. All of our Wastelands gone at this point. We're just drawing to strip mine. It's a hollow one, so that's 2 Vengevines. Strip mine? No. I'm going to discard the Vigor. I'm going to cast the hollow one. 2 Vengevines are going to come back. We're going to attack them for 8 and pass the turn. We're going to hold this hollow one because they're going to play Tabernacle next turn, and we need a route to. We need a route to triggering these Vengevines again. There we go. Okay, I want all of these triggers to end later. And I want my cards in my hand first. There we go. And this is like the factually correct way to do it, because this plays around the random sideboard cards like Ravenous Trap, right? So 2 mana, 2 cards, and a tab. We've held the hollow on, which was cool, and I'm pleased we did that. Because it's so easy just to lose a game from that sort of thing, where you're like, oh, I finally got threats. Let's present lethal next turn, sort of thing, or let's just punt it all into play. But really, that's just like killing yourself. So I'm going to activate 1 here. Oh, this game's so hard. So 2 Squeeze and a Noxious. Then I can Noxious a Wasteland. I'm only ever Wastelanding fucking Tundra, right? No, I think I want my Master of Death in hand with Noxious, with the negation. Or I can just come off negation and kill the Pearl. Or I can come off all the interaction. And I'm gonna discard the Master, and I'm gonna discard the Vigor. I'm not excited about this. And then on their end step, I'm going to try and pick up a relevant card, be it a Wasteland or whatever. Opponent does nothing. We're going to pick up a Wasteland on their turn, on their end step. This plays around negation, but we can't ever be a Flusterstorm in this spot. We're at 10, they're at 11. So Wasteland gets in. We get 2 Squeeze back. Vengevine Lizard is a kill here. Although this should be enough actually. If I can hit any lizard here, that would be sick. Squee Caracas. I don't need either of those. So activate means we're coming off of Master of Death. So let's just play a Wasteland. Cast a hollow one. And pass the turn, I think. I need to play faster as well. So it's going to be some end-step tabernacling. End-step wasting tabernacle. Or we could just pay, actually. No, we can't just pay. Sure. Bazaar's gone. We could pay, actually, because now we can beat a Saga. Yeah, I think I'll pay. Because if I trigger the Vengevines, the game ends. And if I don't trigger the Vengevines, I attack for 4. Seems fine, right? Although paying is very time consuming. Right, Lizard, pay me, Lizard, pay me. Come on, little lizard. This is the downside of this line. Paying costs. Oh, they ploughed me. Okay. Sorry, massive amounts of lag. 2 lizards is a burn spell. Yeah, and then I can just pay for one of the Vengevines next time. They go to 3. My Wasteland can pay for the 2 Vengevines. Yep. My Wasteland can pay for a Vengevine. I've got Force of Will available to me. We've eaten a plough out of them. Sorry about the lag. It's also making it stressful about winning the game in under 3 minutes, especially with all these fucking triggers, you know? Right, cool, stacked it wrong. Let's pay 1 on the first one, so then we can just jam the same button over and over again. And we've got Force of Will here. Everything else dies. And we win the match. Holy hell. What a game, what a match. I need to rewatch that one at some point. I don't like how I played the mid-game where I completely came off all answers to Saga. I liked how we played the mid-game when we held the hollow one, or the later mid-game, I guess. Our opponent went into 5 and missed on leyline, right? So what that means, though, is that we are 5-0 and heading for the top 8. So many more rounds of Magic to come, and that's good because we had the nut low breakers in our bracket. So yeah, good news all around. See you for round something else. It's round 6. Okay, gamers, this top 8 looks like it's stacked as fuck. You've got Phantom Man, Jose, Monkey, Mogged, Discover and Break It Out. Yeah, so my understanding is Jewel, Tinker, Jewel, Mono White, Doomsday, 4 colour mana problems, Lura Saga, plus us. So yeah, what a sick top 8 this is. See you for next round. I think I'm going to be up against Mogged. Okay, so we are indeed up against Mogged. We're going to powder our hand and mulligan to 6. Mogged's on the play? It seems like the game's broken. We'll mulligan again, and we'll keep our Bizarre hand. We will bottom Powder Force. How about that? Keep a Wasteland. We'll keep a Wasteland. For Sagas. And we'll see how we do. So, Polluted Delta, Mox Ruby. Oof. Does it look like a Bowmaster to you? Because it looks like a Bowmaster to me. Oh, playing Delta, fetching the Delta now. Gets an Underground Sea. Oh, Time Walk, okay. Good start, good start. 2 bits of power. Up to 5 cards in hand. And then they probe me. They know that there's nothing going on. They know I've got a Wasteland though. They bauble. This is a pretty powerful opener from them. Baubling themselves, so either a Lorien or a fetch land to follow. Which means they could be buying Lurrus as early as turn 1. Yeah, so Pearl comes in. That's the fetch land. Wow, this was a mana heavy hand, wasn't it? Do you just buy Lurrus now? Looks like it. Yeah, Lurrus is gone. They're going to draw a card in their upkeep. They're on 4 cards as of our upkeep. But they have got some cards in play. Wow. Okay. Opponent draws a card. At least we can't get Bowman in this spot. Master of Death is a nice draw. Let's play Bazaar. Vengevine's a better draw though. There's one. And there's a Poxwalker as well. So we'll discard Lizard, Vengevine, Poxwalkers. And this is going to bring everything back. So Lizard triggers the Poxwalkers. Okay. Hollow One triggers the Vengevine. They might have to force the Hollow One, to be honest with you, at this point. Daze the Hollow One, yeah, sure. I don't want to pay. I cannot pay. But I do want to bring back my Vengevine. Yes, thank you. What a lovely series of events. So let's attack for 4. And then they know 2 of the cards in my hand, so they know that I can't have any interaction going into their turn other than Noxious Revival. I'm expecting to get wasted, although they've maybe got to play the Daze, play the Tundra that they've just picked up, or the Underground Sea that they've just picked up in order to play Lurrus. So they fetch on end step. They're on 5 cards in hand. We've still got 8 power and they're at 12. They've got a Saga, they know about Wastelands, so they're going to play Lurrus Bauble here, I think. Yep. Lurrus makes a Bauble. And I've got to Wasteland that Saga. That Saga's far too good for us. So we're going to attack with just Poxwalkers and Vengevine, I believe. Another Bazaar's great. So let's attack first. Poxwalkers and Vengevine. Opponent takes the damage. They go to 5. 4 cards in hand for them. We're going to play a Wasteland. We're going to Wasteland the Saga. And then we're going to pass the turn. I think. I don't like it, actually. I really don't like it. I wish I'd activated my Bazaar. I could have found a Hollow One. I don't have to play around Bowmaster. Yeah, I think I've made a mistake here. So tapping a blue, they're untapping a blue, they're tapping a blue, they're untapping a blue, and then passing to us. And if they attack with Lurrus, I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to try and flash in my Lizard here. I think it's far too risky into a Bowmaster that's just going to come in and sweep the board. I mean, the Bowmaster's going to come in and sweep the board anyway, right? I can hit another Lizard. So go to 8. They've just got a Bowmaster and I fucked it up. Activate Bazaar, Bowmaster, Bink, Bink. Bowmaster can't hit 2 Lizards, but it can kill a Vengevine. We screwed this up a lot, didn't we? Why didn't I activate? Right, how do we overcome this? They know about the green Lizard, let's just take it. One, that's the thing, isn't it? One imprecise action and you kind of just get shafted. They're going to brainstorm as well. Yeah, it was really bad. That could be the whole thing, right? What a shame. Never mind. Let's try and do better. Opponents on 4 cards. Oh, they're tapping their blue source. Nice. Ancestrals themselves. Right, so we can activate now in response. Master, Master. 1 Lizard. So we didn't find anything off of that, but we did squeeze our activation through. This means we can draw our single copy of Fury. They've got a bunch of baubles. Do they have any black mana? No. So what do they have? Massive amounts of confusion here. Are they playing Plough? Sure, so you draw some cards. I'm going to attack you for 8, my friend. Let's just attack. Do they have plow in their deck? No. Okay, so we got away with one there. That was pretty messed up by me. So I like Fury. I like Echoing Deeps. Do I like the traps on the draw? Or do I like more Furies? I think maybe another Fury's fine. How did I sideboard last time? All the blue's good. I could just drop like a Fury, a Poxwalker and a Lizard. Chalice on the draw, maybe not. Although Chalice continues to bink on their baubles, right? That's like their main engine. So maybe just like Lizard, Poxwalker, something like this. I'm not sure how I did it last time round. That's a hand of magic cards. Let's see what they've got for us. Soul Guide, Lantern, Needle. These would all be annoying. But what else are you going to do? Soul Ring, Emerald. Pass. Okay, so we're getting an activation by the looks of things. My Kingdom for a hollow one. The Vigor. Well, I accept. So let's just discard Squee, Vengevine Goblin. Squee, Vengevine Powder. And pass. I'm strongly considering Vigor pitching Vengevine here. Cool, that got through. They've got no things. Oh no, they've got no things. By the looks of things. Okay, so we get to our turn. That's another Force of Vigor, which is nice. Activate Bazaar. Poxwalkers, Lizard, Squee. Not the best clock in the world, but it is certainly one of the clocks that we currently have. I think there's a few other ways of playing this, but you know, Vigor's pitching Vengevine is fine. Noxious holding open for Leyline, not Leyline, for Wasteland is fine. And this is probably at the very least gonna. This is like nice bait for a Tabernacle, and then we know we have to play around Tabernacle, and all we lost for it was a Lizard. Yeah, there we go. So that's fine, right? We didn't punt a load of resources into this. It was just a nice easy discard. Our creatures die. Nobody really cares. We've got 2 Squees on the go. We've still got this Noxious hanging out. So, and if we need to, we can just do the whole thing where we bring back some Vengevines later on in the game and use it as a few Lava Axes, that sort of thing. I'm just going to activate. So, let's discard Squee, Vengevine, Master of Death at this point. So now we've got double Noxious for their Wasteland. If we ever find a Wasteland, that'll make me happy. And they've still got nothing. And we're just going to get to churn through our deck here. And if we can find a Wasteland along with some creatures, that'll be 6. That's another Vengevine. So activate Bazaar. Say Squee, Vengevine. Master of Death, I guess. 8 cards, so I will play the Bazaar. And we'll just pass the turn here. So our attack at the moment is only 12, right? We really need to find a wasteland. Opponent has no plays and they're going to get to discard to hand size. Like a wasteland ends this game. I'm not activating here. I just need to... They've got dress down's fine, yeah. So the 2 squeeze come back. And it's just how aggressive do we want to be in finding this wasteland, right? I could really do my internet not shitting itself again right now. Come on. Keep it together. So Master of Death happens. We get our Squee back. We draw a card. There's a hollow one. Creatures aren't the issue right now. Wastelands are the issue. So Bazaar, so let's discard Squee, Squee. I guess I can discard a Noxious at this point, can't I? I've got so many Bazaars. And let's activate Bazaar. I need a Wasteland, please. Oh, actually, that might be good enough. So let's discard Lizard. Oh, Lizard, and Fury. It's aggressive. I don't have another blue card for this Force of Will. Let's just discard the Fury. And then we'll hit them for 12 points of damage, and then everything will die, and then we'll hit them for 12 points of damage. We have a game plan. Maybe I could have done that last turn. Yes, please. Opponent's got 7 cards in hand. There's still things that can go wrong here. But I think the fact that we're just going to, Urza's Rage them twice is going to be pretty decent. Let's go to end step and let's just discard something. I guess we can just discard a Noxious. I could have topped their dress down actually. So, looks like they've just drawn blanks in the 2 games against us. I've got a bunch of triggers to resolve. Distarts a Demonic Tutor. I need my Vengevines to die. I need my cards to be in my hand though. Cool. Yes, please. Alright, lots of clicking, and then if this all gets through, then we should emerge victorious and progress on to the semi-finals. I'm not sure what they can have in their list these days, which is going to beat us here. But this is one of the ways that you can be a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, right? Is just, we didn't draw any Wastelands, but we did draw enough Vengevines to just burn them out. So let's discard Lizard, Squee, Master. Yeah, Master can go. Cast this. Bring back a Poxwalker's largely irrelevant. Poor Poxwalker's just comes in, dies, comes in, dies, comes in, dies. I'd like to announce some triggers, please. Yep. 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 And my hollow one. No days this time. And then we'll attack them for 12 again, which should progress us on. Okay, marked past is priority. Semis. Nice. That went well. Who else have we got in the semis? Marcus beats Monkey. Jose versus Sahar. And Doomsday beats Phantoman. Nice. I mean, if it's dual Doomsday mono white, I feel good. Obviously, these are losable matchups. Everything is, but combo decks are what we like to play against, right? And there's an absence of wastelands in this top 8 now, at least now that Monkey and Mogged have gone. Okie dokie. So we're up against Jose, dual gamer. Man, if this wasteland was a bazaar, how fucked up would this had to be against dual on the play? Anyway, we go to 7 or 6, sorry, and now we go to 5. And now we've got bazaar, force. Yeah, this looks good. So I'm going to pitch Vengevine into strip, I think. And I'm going to go bazaar go. They've kept 7. Not a fan. But we've got some interactive pieces, at the very least. And hopefully this is one of those turns where they blink a bunch of resources into play. They've got a probe. Do I want to misstep probe? I'm kind of into it, to be honest. I think so. Let's not give the very good player the information about our hand. So Mox Pearl's fine. Mishra's Workshop. The One Ring would not be fine. Do I want to flip my Bazaar of Baghdad? Motherfucker. I guess we've got to activate now. Go find another blue card. Nope. How do you play this then? Jesus Christ, the One Ring's so good against us. Right, so we're discarding Squee. And then I can see arguments for discarding all of the other 4 cards. I think I'm just going to discard Vengevine and Vigor. Yeah. Vengevine. Not. We've got, like... So Vigor, Vengevine. The One Ring resolves. We're going to get our Squee back. Man, misstepping the probe. Did it kill us? Did it kill us? Get back a Squee. And we get a draw step as well. Vigor. Funny. Okay. That's something I can kind of work with, I think. I mean, they're going to draw a lot of cards. Hopefully they're going to take a lot of damage. Let's play a hollow one. The One Ring burden ticks up. They take 1, they draw 2. They've got 8 cards in hand. They play a Sapphire. Yeah, interesting spot to try and counter that probe, right? But I just felt like Jose's not running headfirst into Vigor and Negation. Grim Monolith is fine. They've got 5 cards. Is this just a duel? Or another One Ring? It looks like a PO actually. All that mana. All that mana and all those things. Coveted duel. We shall fight a coveted duel. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. It looks like it got through. Squee comes back to our hand. Lizard. Can we get another creature? No. They've got 4 cards in hand. We'll attack them for 4, they'll go to 13. So this is close, right? If we can kill, they're going to take 2 here, going to 11. If they don't kill us, I mean they've got 8 cards, they're going to kill us. But if they don't kill us, oh my god, look at all that mana. But if they don't kill us, never mind. Never mind. So we'll watch Jose play around for a while. We'll check our Discord messages and that sort of thing. And then, oh no, fuck this. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Misstepping the probe. Confirmed bad. I like the triple trap that we're going to get. Fury's going to go. The library looks slow. One Poxwalker. Yep. Looks good. So their sideboard plan is worth looking up, but it's usually something along the lines of be faster and play a Wormcoil Engine. So we're on the play. We're on the play with 7. That's interesting though. So Master of Death is a sick pickup because that's going to turn on our negation. We're just going to get rid of 2 of these revivals because revivals aren't dead in this matchup, but they are weak, right? And not great. And here's always an interesting spot because like you kind of want to counter the payoffs usually, but where we can't beat a Wormcoil Engine, this is just another 1 ring turn. Yep. Please no forces, thank you. So we're just going to waste them and attack for 4. Oh. They've got 4 cards in hand still. Vigor, please. Lizard. Do I want to? No, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to wasteland there. Workshop and attack for 4. I don't think I'm going to do anything else for now. They've got 4 cards. Hopefully no more 1 rings and workshops. We can't really beat workshop 1 ring here. There's a Saga, it's fine. So let's just flip the Bazaar on end step. Pretty much holding Noxious no matter what. Gross. Bit more pressure. And then we'll go to our turn. We will Noxious the Wasteland. Flip the Bazaar in response. Holy fuck. All my good cards. Play a Wasteland. Wasteland your Saga and attack for 5. And it's just keeping them off of good cards is the whole joke here. Basic Island. Flip the Bazaar on our upkeep. Pitch more blue permission, I guess. Yeah, perfect. The Force of Vigor's a nice draw though. Attack them for 5. They're at 6. Can you miss a land drop, bro? Of course not. Mana Crypt though. Metamorph my Hollow. Yep. Otawara. Green source. Yeah, nice. How do you play this? We can trade off. I think we've got to trade off and get him for 1. They've got 2 cards in hand. They've got a block. Upkeep, they're going to have a Mana Crypt flip, which really kind of is quite big, really. Jose won the flip, of course. I'm going to just go after both of them. Oh, PO. Fuck. Force of Will. Fine. I'm going to flip my Bazaar. My god. Looks like they're lining up the old Wormcoil Engine here. Do I have any Squeeze in this deck? There we go. So Lizard, attack you for 1. Lose a flip, please. Jose lost a flip. Okay, so even Wormcoil's not enough. Or possibly not enough. 6 mana. Wormcoil Engine. I get back a Squee. Oof. This is pretty fucking sweaty, really. Alright, what are we doing? Come on, let's come up with a game plan here. So, if they win the flip, how do we win the game? If they win the flip, we probably need to noxious a vigor. Took us so long to find a Squee. So if we put in red lizard, Squee, noxious a vigor, and start killing their stuff. Yeah, I think that was my initial intuition. Okay. You have got a mana crypt flip, my man. Fairly big game mana crypt flip. Good luck. That's made this a lot harder. Okay. Just have some blanks for a moment, okay? Just relax and chill. I'm going to take my 6 here. That is my medicine. Another option though is noxious a hollow one. Maybe should have found that earlier. What does that do? Oh, he's going for it. Jesus Christ. Are we just gonna die here? We've drawn 3 cards. They play a Saga. Okay, Vigor's kind of like mandatory at this point. If we get to that point. 3 blue, monolith. I'm not enjoying myself, guys, just in case you were wondering. I don't like the bit where they're tapping the mana, if I'm honest with you. This bit? Yeah, no, I'm really not fond of this. Okay. So it goes. Looks like we're going to just top 4 again. 11 cards in hand for the dual opponent is quite a lot of cards, you know. I'm actually just going to yield until their end step here because I've got no plays really. They're not going to replay their crypt. They've got a monolith, 7 cards. They're not going to replay their dual. Monolith, they might replay their dual. Trinisphere, fuck me. Alright, I maybe should have responded to Trinisphere. Have I ever been more locked out of a game of Magic? I don't know if I have actually. Okay, I should have responded to Trinisphere, but in all I'm not sure. Appreciate that, but... Alright, that's going to do it for today. That's going to do it. We're going to die. Another top 4. Not too bad. Top 4 2 weeks in a row. I think my last 3 challenges have been 9th, 4th, 4th. Jose wins the match. Jose, dual finals. Oh, no, 3rd. Look at that improvement. Yeah, see you guys again soon. That was Squee, the last hurrah.